Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. There is a story I learned long ago that has been rumbling around in my mind for a while now. It is said that once a storyteller was telling a story to a group of children. Half were American and half were African. The storyteller told of a hyena who was going down a path in the savannah in eastern Africa. Suddenly he came to a fork in the road. The hyena was ready to go to the left when the wind shifted and he smelled the enticing aroma of a dead carcass coming from the right. He was ready to go to the right instead when the wind shifted again and an equally delicious aroma of a rotting carcass came from the left. What to do? He was caught in the dilemma of intense indecision. Should he go to the right? Should he go to the left? His indecision became so bad that suddenly the hyena split in two. The storyteller looked at the children and asked, "Is this story true?" Immediately, the American children said, "No, it's not true. Hyenas can't split in two." The storyteller asked again, "Is this story true?" The African children remained silent, for although they had heard this tale many times, they felt intimidated by the American children and said nothing. Finally, the storyteller pressed again, "Is this story true?" Suddenly, an African child jumped up and said, "Yes, it's true. Greed kills." Powerful, isn't it? And most of us have seen the evidence of that truth in families torn apart after parents die and the children split the things from the family estate. Greed kills. It can kill relationships. But there are many kinds of greed when we sit and ponder about it. Greed, for example, for ideas. Many people have ideas that are wonderful, but they're unwilling to share them in case they do not get the credit. The greed for status. Many people push others down or away, ignoring their existence or friendship if they think their status in society or the workplace will be threatened. And then the big one in society where people seek to rise to a rank above others, to feel the intoxicating power of greatness. Greed in these situations kills on many levels. The obsession with power has haunted human beings from the beginning of time. I wonder why that is part of our struggle as human beings. Why is it part of the DNA to be tempted by the elixir of power? To want to be bigger and better? Hmm. We've seen this in folklore for centuries. The stepmothers in Cinderella and Snow White, the stonecutter who wanted to be greater than the sun, the moon, the mountain, and the wind. It is easy to see it recreated in almost every story of humanity. Today, we feel excruciating pain and fear as we see the livid face of greediness in our politics. The other thing we can do is to be sure that we do not fall prey to the effects of the blind pursuit of something that we think will bring us the ultimate level of fulfillment and happiness. It rarely does. The paradox is that we need leaders to guide our country, our businesses, our schools, our counties, and our states. But the wisdom of the ages is that the lust for power is the corruption, not the power. There have been powerful people who have been good, kind, and used their positions for the benefit of others. The question we must all answer is twofold. Who are we? And also, who do we follow? It's not always an easy answer. Just as the hyena in the story, both sides of something can be enticing. But how do we decide if it's good? It's hard and it's perplexing. But one thing I know to be true, as the little African child said, greed kills. We must reflect and examine what the costs of our desires are or the desires of those we follow. There's another story, The Tower, written by Richard Paul Evans, that describes a man who built a tall wooden tower so he could be higher than anyone, for he believed if he was higher than anyone, all would consider him a great man. However, he learned that an old woman who fed the birds by the river was greater. Even the birds looked up to her. When he met her, she told him it did not matter to her he thought she was great or not. She said, "To be great is not to be seen by, but to truly see others." That wisdom changed his life. It's like the fork in the road facing the hyena. We can choose which path to follow. If it is the right path, we will become better people. If it is the wrong path, we will most likely diminish inside. Greed kills. Graciousness, wisdom, love, and respect heal and bring people forward. This week, on your bathroom mirror, write, "May I choose a path of graciousness, wisdom, love, and respect in leading and in following." Join me next Monday for Live, life inspired views for every day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.